Greetings, Christ City Church and friends of Christ City. I wanted to take a moment to share with you this theme of hospitality that has emerged as the staff and the elders and I have reflected on this past year in the life of our church. When I think about it, I think about the ways that we've collaborated with our home church here, our hosting church, Central Christian, on building projects and all the various ways that through formal and informal means we've invited each other into deeper relationships and more hospitable places with one another. It's clear that the practice of hospitality is shining through as something that the Spirit of God is elevating within our congregation and in the life of our church. You know, hospitality is a vital and essential piece of the core of what it means to be human. It's one of our deepest needs, is to be invited. And as we think about belonging, that deep sense of belonging that we all desire and crave and long for, and the desire to know and to be known, hospitality just rises again and again as a core and essential thing to elevate in the life of our church and our congregation. As we look at the past year, we see ways that God has provided for us to become a more hospitable church. As we look to the next year, we see even more ways we can live into this hospitality and continue to strive toward being a place that anyone who desires can find a place to belong. Godly play, our new method of nourishing spiritual and moral development in both children and adults, has had an inspirational start. This invitational method is teaching our children how to experience God through creative play, personal reflection and wondering, making holy silence, imagining themselves in the biblical stories, and having continued access to these stories throughout the year. This approach has transformed Christ City Kids into a more immersive experience where our children are developing personal ownership of their connection to the church, God, and their own souls, something the Godly Play Foundation calls playful orthodoxy. Welcome to the Soup Kitchen. The evolution of the Soup Kitchen has provided an increasingly inviting space for those who are struggling the most, to be able to experience a hot meal, play games, get the clothes and shoes they need, and get connected to more long-term and specific resources, such as the Hospitality Hub and Manna House. Our intern, now pastoral resident, Ben Higdon, along with Chef John Rainey, has made this a kind, inviting, and friendly place for volunteers to come and serve and love on one of our most vulnerable populations.
Walker Hall is this great space down here. Some in the past have called it the dungeon, and it has been used for different types of events. It just was not clean. It needed a tremendous amount of updating. So we came in with just some real frugal ideas and wanted to get the floors replaced, wanted to get just some organization in our storage area, and with the kitchen, I just wanted to make it a usable space for our events, for families that wanted to hang out after the service on a Sunday, for all of these groups that are starting to connect through the group me's. We just wanted this space to be more inviting, more hospitable.
One aspect of hospitality I'm reminded of as we approach this Advent season is imagination. When we prepare to invite people in, we do well to imagine who we're inviting in and what they might need in order to flourish. So as we look to the future, this next year at Christ City, we want to see more imagination, prayer, and invitation into what is happening in and through Christ City Church. We want to elevate hospitality by asking our partners and regular attenders to participate in dreaming about how these spaces can be used. And we also want to encourage the giving of finances to this holy and good cause. As I think about the next year, I see an amazing opportunity to invest in the hospitality, particularly that we bring to a Sunday morning. In one of his recent staff reflections, Josh Cosby said he was excited about, quote, the creative future of Christ City, how we can utilize music and art to create an environment to help break down the barriers that keep the human spirit from experiencing a connection with the Holy Spirit. This next year, we want to invest in this vision of the future through our time and energy and our finances. Art and music has the creative power to deepen relationships and connections, and Christ City has the artists, musicians, and creatives to see this happen both during Sunday morning services and beyond. So this Advent season, we invite you to join with Christ City Church to elevate hospitality as we engage our imaginations in how godly play, the renovations in Walker Hall, the soup kitchen, and our Sunday morning worship service can bring more people into a deeper place of belonging and knowing God. You can help us elevate hospitality at Christ City by contributing to our goal of $20,000 by the end of 2022. $14,000 of this will go to meeting our budgetary needs for the remainder of the year, and $6,000 will go to our creative goals for Sunday morning worship in 2023. We want to say a special thank you to all of you who are faithful and generous tithers and givers to Christ City. Without you, we couldn't have done any of these things. And to those of you who are not yet giving, we encourage you to take ownership of the vision that's happening here at Christ City Church and join in through your financial contributions to elevate hospitality